Hi, my name is Hiro. I'm a medieval historian, and I'm traveling the world with my partner. Here's how we spent our time in Uzbekistan. Actually, here's how we pivoted when things went wrong and we had an awesome spontaneous time in Greece. We're in Greece.
We're in Greece.
We're in Greece.
Who would have thunk it?
Not us. Yesterday at 10:59 p.m.
True. But we're here now.
We are here now. It's a little elevator.
I love all the stickers.
Yeah, that's pretty
You
cool.
can tell it's like a party hostel.
Oh yeah. It was definitely a party hostel, but the bar was never open when we went, so no free shot for us. No, I smelled that.
I was thinking we should take some showers.
Speaking of our nice little bathroom, my nice little boyfriend. And what's the view? Not a bad view. Some rooftops, but pretty rooftops. Better than Heidelberg.
Road route.
We took the back road. Hope we're not like going through people's yards.
Yeah, we're still cruising around. I think you're right. I think that way would have been faster. But this way is
It's a scenic way.
it's a scenic route.
We get to see the city and the mountain.
Medieval shit. Oh, excuse my language.
We bought the full touristy pass, which cost $42 per person and got us into every site we wanted over 5 days. Definitely worth it and honestly quite affordable after what we spent in Istanbul. The hot spot in the Acropolis is the Parthenon, which dates to around the 6th century BCE, and is dedicated to the goddess Athena.
Well, I guess the Parthenon's as cool as they say. Okay, so this is where the bronze Athena statue would have been, which is like a huge statue looking over Athens. But when the Romans conquered Greece and conquered Athens specifically, the running theory, is that they melted it down because we have no extant proof other than the written records about this place.
Sewage.
George! Centaur's beating the hell out of that guy.
The Parthenon was a Greek temple, a Christian church, and even briefly an Islamic mosque. It saw a lot of damage during several different wars, and especially during the Greek fight for independence. But the Greek government started restoring the site in earnest in the 1950s, an effort that continues to today. There used to be a bunch of stories depicted on the middlepiece here, but currently the most prominent one is just depictions of gods fighting giants because Christian iconoclasts vandalized a bunch of them. And what's that? A medieval Christian lid. We've got some archaeologists at work over here. Mel, you gotta get this job.
I was just telling Hiro how funny it is and how lucky we are that we got to see the Parthenon by accident because of our Uzbekistan mix-up. Here we are and we get to see this. It's amazing.
Is that a Greek-style Christian cross? Replica caryatids, but still very cool to see. We're missing one. Of course, I always appreciate a LARPer or historical reenactor.
You're in the wrong city, bub.
Of Attic black figure pottery here. This pottery was earlier period and it's a little more simplistic. But then we get a bit later period and you have some Attic red figure, which basically the opposite. You glaze in the area with black and then scrape away or paint away the areas that you wanted exposed. And this allowed for much subtler line work and much more detail. You can see she's got lots of lines in her dress, and the testicles of the horse here are very well defined. The caryatids were on my lifelong historian bucket list. It was amazing to see them in person. This is a rarity with our extant archaeology, that is non-goddess women carved to support columns. These women are all unique with individual hairstyles, dresses, and faces. The British Museum currently holds one of the caryatids, first stolen when the snotty Thomas Bruce, Lord of Elgin, looted the Acropolis and damaged a ton of important architecture. The British Museum refuses to repatriate the caryatid back to Greece, and those in the Acropolis Museum hold space for their missing sister.
Don't look down. What is that, Hero?
This is the rock. The guy told me that it's like Grecian vodka and it's very strong, and to make sure I eat something before and after I drink. Do you know that joke about how Greek alcohol gives you the best smiles? Yeah, I took like 5 photos of myself and they all had the prettiest smiles I've ever smiled. Athens had a lot of graffiti and street art, which I always think is super neat. Here's some of my favorites we saw. Rainbow dudes, Greek Chuck E. Cheese, titties, this little guy running with a joint, and my favorite, these angelic testicles we saw all over the city. I think we saw like 9 of them in total.
Angel balls, angel balls.
Mr. Brown,
Yeah.
where are we going today?
We are going to a ancient cemetery. I forget what it's called, Keramikos or something like that. And then we are going to the ancient Agora, which is the old Greek marketplace down under the Acropolis. And then our last stop today is Hadrian's library.
I'm excited. One of my historical areas of interest is pre-modern death culture, so I love me a cemetery. In every human culture in the world, we have special ways of treating and remembering the dead. Women had a principal role in death culture because death and death cults were a domestic realm, so you'll see more women in some of these gravestones than you might have anticipated. You've probably heard of the Greek women's lamentations, but their role extended far beyond that. Women were supposedly chthonic, that is, had underworldly characteristics, which made them natural caretakers for the dead. Cleaning the body, preparing it for burial, ornamenting it, you name it, when it came to death, it's hard to overstate the importance of women in ancient Greek society. We're just admiring the methodology for how Athens in particular, but Greece widely, protects and makes accessible their historical and archaeological sites. A sign. No big deal, just walking on the parapets of an ancient city.
You took what I was going to say.
And they're doing restoration work during off-season. Wow.
Dry, temperate.
He's hauling ass.
There's I gotta get across the road before the humans show up. Look at him go.
That? Roll had 2. All right, new angle. I'm pleased to inform you that he does not have 2. Those are his balls.
Enormous.
Ancient Legos.
Okay, so the one we saw earlier was a copy of this one. This is the original in a covered environment. But she has a little dog too. This is his daughter and her parents and her grandma. It's just really touching, really sweet image. There's a lot of emotion here. Them touching their faces is a sign of mourning. And the mom's hands on the daughter. It's really sweet. The daughter's also holding on to the father's clothing right there.
Casey just pointed out that this column of this archway in the Hadrian's library was probably painted, and then guess what? A cross. This is what's left of the 12th century church of Saint Asomatos, that is Archangel Michael, and as you can see, it was painted. This is a very faded prayer in just the main. This is the treachery of Judas, and then you've got some saints painted around the exterior.
Are you videotaping me?
I am now.
So it's dedicated to Athena. It's dedicated to Caesar, not Caesar Augustus, one of the Augustuses. And it's looking down on the market below. Is it like an official's place? Wisdom and law is being dealt out here or something? Who knows?
This is our life. We're just walking around Athens, no big deal. Randomly decided we wanted to go get a beer for lunch.
There's French fries, right?
This is a mead wine. Our waiter here was like, I think one of these is enough for you to share. And he was right. We then took a night in because the next day we were taking an overnight ferry to Crete. Greek souvlaki and gyro are the best things ever, and I'm convinced this gyro at this little place was the best gyro I've ever had in my life. We've missed like 3 different entrances. We're going literally all the way around the harbor by mistake. The boats look cool though. We did get inside the port, by the way. It just took us a little extra bit of time.
We made it. We made it. We are on the Kissamos, where I can kiss a hero the most.
I have the best boyfriend in the world. And our our sleeping arrangements for this evening. It was not comfortable, and it turns out we didn't even need to sleep there because there were dimmed areas on the ship, but it's fine, we survived. I did look like this when I slept, and I woke up looking like I'd slept through 10 wars. Yet another...
colder here than it is in Athens.
It is colder here. Yet another adventure. Yet another episode of Hero and Casey get to new locations far too late at night or far too early in the morning.
Yeah,
it is about 6 a.m.
So early in the morning, but yeah, 6 a.m. after the overnight.
The Wi-Fi on board was a lie, so we don't actually know where we are.
Yeah.
How would you rate this McDonald's experience?
Good, solid. It got us Wi-Fi.
I think I'd give it a 4.
Yeah, for the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
View.
The view is beautiful. The sidewalk less so.
I'm covered in view. Yum. Look at that thing.
It's incredible. That's the $5 euro. Just walking around today.
Easy going today.
Easy going today.
It's really pretty. It's like bright out. The sun is in the sky. We're gonna take a walk down the jetty.
We found out today that the Knossos Palace that we wanted to go to closes early, and we slept in. We slept in.
Felt great though.
I think I'm getting sick, unfortunately, so the sleep was much needed. This was a 16th century port that they started excavating in earnest in the early 20th century, with restoration starting in the 1950s. What's neat is that there are Greek parts, Ottoman parts, and Venetian parts. The Venetian parts are oldest, with plans for construction as early as 1462 and the actual building in the mid-16th century. And the Ottomans took the area in 1669 after 21 years of siege. That is the second longest in human history. The fort was later bombed by the Germans in World War II, but has been masterfully repaired, and the structure stands in very good shape today. We even got to walk on the parapets. We got a lunch that was not in our budget, but it was good. I ordered what I thought was a tomato salad, but it was mostly brown bread croutons. It was still delicious, don't get me wrong. I was just expecting more vegetables. And Casey continues to subside primarily on cured meats.
My sausages! And you can't tell my mom that, she'll think I'm being unhealthy.
This is the golden or royal road for the freaking ancient people. The Minoans, there we go, that's the word I was looking for.
Just like a 3,000-year-old castle. No big deal.
NBD.
I think we might be the only people who get so excited about the presence of ancient sewers.
Ancient plumbing!
Here we are at the South House at the Minoan Palace. You can see behind me this bright red structure is not original. That's actually concrete, created in the early 20th century by the archaeologist Arthur Evans.
That's Hero. This is part of the Palace of Knossos. And in 1905, our boy Arthur, an archaeologist, decided he wanted to do some restoration. And it's covered in like big, thick columns of concrete and painted, redone columns and stuff throughout the site. This is just one example, but a really egregious one. Although some archaeologists seem to argue that it actually helped preserve the site, it just wasn't done with as much knowledge as he maybe should have had to do so. What do you think of our boy Arthur, Hero? Yeah.
A sewer? Water and draining conduit? From the size alone, we know that this was a very important cultural and political site for the Minoans. We know very little about the structure of their society or government or religion, but we do know that they were prolific traders and had an incredibly rich artistic culture. Some of that art can be seen in facsimile at the Knossos Palace, like the super famous bull leaping fresco or the ladies in blue fresco. Though we may not know a ton about the Minoans, we do know one thing for certain from these art pieces. They were drippy as hell. Then to the Heraklion Archeological Museum, where unfortunately like 90% of the museum was closed. We did see some cool stuff. I was especially excited about the original Knossos frescoes and these little octopus guys, but big bummer. The snake goddess lady is not on display right now.
She's not on display.
Like, unfortunately, half the museum is like either not staffed or under construction or something, so.
Alas.
Dinner was at a very cool local taverna I found, but we kind of ran into some issues. Like, once again, Google Maps has you walking through a nuclear reactor site in order to save a minute.
I thought it was taking us to the freeway. I was like, we're not walking on the freeway here.
This is not a walkable path right here. There are cars coming both ways, a very little shoulder.
I think we should get a taxi on the way back. What about you? I'm excited.
Me too. What did you say that one was?
It's beets.
Beets.
And then, oh my gosh.
I didn't realize we were the party table.
They know Hero's the sucker.
How dare you? You give one tiny kitten one piece of pasta. The only downside to leaving that beautiful little ferry alcove is that now we have to walk back the way we came.
But with a belly full of food and rocky.
We were walking on that side of the street coming up here. We were walking over there. That's crazy.
Yeah, there's no feral animals on this road because they're smart enough not to walk on it.
It could be creepier.
Just like that, we're getting ready to leave Crete.
Leaving Crete.
And Casey's spoiling me by carrying my heavy backpack on his front. So many hills.
But you're right. I hope we don't get seasick.
It's not as bad as last time. Yeah. But it's still raining. Yeah.
Where are we, hero?
We're in Phuket, Thailand.
We're gonna get a smart watch.
It's really hot here.